Hello, Salvatore.
Good morning, Maurizio. Welcome to Porta Rossa.
Thank you very much. Do you know why we're here? We came to shoot a documentary about Panarea's food and wine, and to show what you can cook aboard a catamaran. What boat did you prepare for us?
The Lagoon 50 Croda Rossa. Beautiful boat.
We're going luxury. It also has the platform with the tender, which is very
That's
useful
right.
for us. Very well. I'm going aboard now, and I'll see you on the way back. Thank you very much. Bye, Salvatore.
Ciao Salvatore.
The first installment of Vella Gourmet, the new series from SVN, solavella.net. In this series, we'll talk about food and wine related to the use of boats, particularly catamarans. When you charter a catamaran, and it's a wonderful vacation, one of the key things is precisely what to eat. On this catamaran, we have a skipper and a hostess, Laura, who cooks for us, and who will also explain a lot about Sicilian cuisine. We are in Italy, in Sicily, in the Aeolian Islands, specifically on the island of Panarea. And here with me, I have Floriana Bertelli. Hi, Floriana.
Maurizio, buongiorno.
Floriana Bertelli is a well-known journalist for TG3, one of the 3 Italian state news programs. For many years, she worked at TG3. And in recent years, she's been in charge of food and wine reports. And that's why we asked her to accompany us on this new adventure of ours. Also, because Floriana is also a sommelier, so she understands a lot about wine. You'll see when she talks about it, what passion she can convey. Floriana, I know you've studied a lot, made a careful selection, and picked restaurants. Can you tell us a few things?
I'll tell you very little, because it has to be a surprise. I've chosen 2 traditional restaurants that do Aeolian cuisine. I've also chosen a winery, and I hope that all of this will be to your liking. And that's all I'm anticipating.
We set off together on this new adventure and go to see the surprises Floriana has in store for us. Follow us. I see that you've already started cooking, Laura.
Yes, Maurizio. If you want to eat, I have to get to work.
Laura is one of the hostesses of the crews that NSS Charters selects. All of the big charter companies select crews that they can offer to their clients. The crew is crucial. If you don't bring the boat on your own, having a skipper and a hostess is a really very important thing, because the skipper, in addition to about your safety, also thinks about being your guide, the tour guide, pointing out the restaurants, the most beautiful bays, and so on. The hostess, on the other hand, keeps the boat very tidy, but most importantly, cooks for you, unless you also have the chef on board. Since you're cooking for us, would you tell us very briefly about Aeolian cuisine? What is it based on?
It is mainly based on fish, and then also with the use of some typical products. These are mainly capers, which are typical of the island of Salina, and also eggplants, which are very famous in Sicily. Oh, and Parmigiana too. These are all combined with the fish.
And all these things are local products.
Absolutely. By the way, the crews have been working here in the Aeolian Islands for years, so we also have the opportunity to get to know the people of the Aeolian Islands, and we get their garden produce. Did you see yesterday? Even with the fish in Salina, we called and made a reservation, and he assured us of the freshness of the fish.
But not only that, he opened the fish market at 7:30 in the morning just for us. 80% of your customers are foreigners. They come from all parts of the world. They come from America, Latin America, Northern Europe, even Russians, and only 20% are Italians. How do you meet the needs of such different cultures?
NSS Charter Office puts us in touch with the client, to whom we send a preference list, which would be the so-called galley list. So he tells us what meals he would like, or foods he would like. And especially he tells us if he has any intolerances or allergies. From there, we also come up with a typical menu and suggest our local recipes. Then we develop the request.
Do you also think about breakfast in the morning?
Yes, we start from breakfast, appetizer, lunch.
Full service.
Yes, absolutely yes.
Beautiful. I also want to take a catamaran vacation.
Consider that the crews also speak English. We are prepared to accommodate the various nationalities.
Now let's talk about the menu. What are you cooking for us today?
Going back to the famous fishmonger in Salina, yesterday he gave us some very good Salina shrimp that today I'm going to offer you raw with a tricolor combination, combining the kiwi and the strawberry, which I think gives some freshness. Then, as a first course, we have gnocchetti, cherry tomatoes and swordfish. I will also add capers as a reminder of the island of Salina. As a second course, stuffed squid with a Malvasia wine sauce, onion and raisins. Then to finish, and to keep you happy, a pistachio tiramisu.
She knows that I love pistachio ice cream. Pistachio of Bronte, obviously.
Absolutely.
Good. Here's to you. Do get started. Did you hear what Laura said when she described the menu?
I've heard it and already my stomach has opened up.
Me too. We've had the menu described and what we're having for lunch today, but there's one key item missing, which is the wine. Ah, here comes the coffee. Thank you, Laura.
Oh,
Thank you
grazie.
very much. There's a lack of wine present. You can't have a meal without wine. And Sicily is an exceptional place.
Sicily is a blessed land because of the nature, the climate, the sun, the colors, the flavors, the smells. It is all beautiful. But it is a landscape also full of contrasts because we have the sea, we have the sunny beaches, but we also have Etna with snow. So it is a region that has contrasts, and the wines that are produced here reflect that completely. The queen grape variety here is Malvasia, which can be found in both dry and raisin versions. It is mainly produced in Salina, Vulcano, and Lipari. Yesterday I went to visit a producer in Salina. He is one of the best known.
One of the best known, who does not look Sicilian, however.
His name indeed is of Bohemian origin. However, they are already in their second generation, and the third generation is being prepared because the sons are already taking care of the winery. They are producers of Malvasia because precisely Malvasia is the most important grape variety.
What are they called? I can't pronounce it.
They are called Hauner, precisely of Bohemian origin. But they came here for passion. Inside the wine goblet, you don't just find wine, but you also find the passion of the producer. Everything it takes from when he starts working in the vineyard with his feet in the earth until he produces the wine. Every producer has a style, of course. However, in every goblet there is passion, love, and pride for the product.
Is there really nothing here in Panarea?
No. In Panarea, there are some small vineyards. There are a couple of producers, however, they don't make wine on the island, but they bring it to the winery. That is, they produce grapes here, but they bring it to the winery in Salina.
Good. You have a passion. I can tell you're a trained sommelier. Very good. At this point, given what we're going to eat on board, given what we're going to drink, all we have to do is go ashore and discover a couple of restaurants.
Right, restaurants. I'm going to amaze you. I've read up on that as well.
I'm sorry I can't accompany you because I have to stay with Laura. You'll talk to me from the shore. Let's go.
Maurizio, I have come ashore, and as I promised you, I will take you to see two restaurants I have chosen, Cusiritati and Da Francesco. Then you will tell me. We are in Panarea, on the terrace of the restaurant Cusiritati. Next to me I have Federica, who is the owner of the restaurant. We have a wonderful view behind us, and as we can say it, also unique in the world. And we are here to know what is the favorite dish, the typical one of the restaurant and also of the Aeolian Islands.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are preparing spaghetti with anchovies, which is our signature dish. We will put in breadcrumbs, wild fennel, almonds, raisins.
Are they all local products?
They are all our own products from the territory, especially the fennel that grows free in our territory, precisely.
And of course, you can't miss the anchovies, which you fish here.
Very fresh anchovies that we have to take daily for our dishes.
Who do we have here in the kitchen preparing this wonder for us?
We have Marilena, my mom, who has been running the kitchen and preparing our dishes since 1986.
Because this restaurant of yours is a family restaurant. You are the third generation.
Yes, first there was my grandmother Amelia who opened this restaurant, then my parents, today together with my mother and sister, and all of female management, and we take care of this restaurant.
We are here in April, so the terrace is a little bit uncluttered. However, you host clients here.
Yes, during the season there are tables that welcome our customers and sunset. We sit about 40 and this is where you can enjoy our dishes.
The best time is at sunset, right?
Yes, at sunset you can see the lights coloring the sky of Panarea, because here you don't see the sun going down, but you can imagine a beautiful sunset and also see Stromboli peeping out with the lava.
We talked about the signature dish. What wine do we pair with this signature dish?
We will accompany it with a Malvasia di Salina produced by Caravaggio Winery. It is a dry Malvasia, 12.5 alcohol, and in the mouth it is a savor. It goes down very well and can be tasted either as an aperitif or with dishes like spaghetti with anchovies.
I see a beautiful color, a deep greenish yellow from the fragrance.
On the nose, these floral notes come out, a little melon, orange freshness. You can really taste the Aeolian Islands. Salina is a wine that reminds us of Panarea.
Malvasia, after all, is a local grape variety.
Yes, it is one of the first wines that was grown in the Aeolian Islands, Brephyloxera, so it resisted this infestation, and today we bring it to our tables.
Maurizio, how about it? Did you like it?
Yes, Floriana. Beautiful terrace. Really spectacular. And Mrs. Marlena's spaghetti looked very inviting to me. Too bad you were there and not me, so I couldn't taste them.
You missed a good chance.
Now where are you taking us?
In another restaurant, Francesco's.
Well, we're following you. While Floriana goes to Francesco's, I'll use this time to show you the cabins of this catamaran. Let's go. If you don't want to have a pure sailing vacation, but still have fun following the wind and making use of the sails, the catamaran is the boat for you. Because the catamaran is the most comfortable boat that you find for charter today. There are many types of catamaran. The small catamaran, which you can take on your own up to 42 to 46 feet. The medium catamaran, like this one, which is steered by a professional skipper accompanied by a hostess. And then the larger catamarans, where I can have the chef, I can have one or two hostesses, and I can have other crew members as well. A catamaran like this. We're now on the Lagoon 50 of the NSS charter, as we said at the beginning. This company, which is the largest charter company in Italy, has as many as 45 boats, 45 catamarans. It has a fleet of 120 boats, including 45 catamarans. This boat, as I was telling you, is a boat with a fly. That is, with a space above this roof, with a large sun deck, with the bridge where the skipper leads the boat. So it's a catamaran with a fly. In addition to the fly, it also has a cockpit in the bow, which is the cockpit in the sun, because there's no shade there. However, there's a nice sofa where you can have an aperitif, and especially where the children can play on the nets. Then we have this one here, the aft cockpit, which is the shaded area, where you get shelter from the sun, and this is where you usually have all your meals. If you're not in the middle of the season, so it's not really hot, in the evening you can pull down the curtains that are around, and this space is completely closed. In addition to these, we have the dinette, which, as you can see, as Laura continues to cook, is very large. It has a very large sofa in the middle with a cabinet in front of it that holds the television that can come up. Then, here are the cabins. Follow me as I show them to you. The first cabin I'll show you is this aft cabin, which is my cabin. I stay here when we do the documentary. In this case, Laura put in the order. The stewardesses do the cabins every day. It's a hotel-type service. A boat like this has a generator, so you can have 220 power inside the boat. It has air conditioning that you can control cabin by cabin. I have an air conditioning control here. Those are the vents over there. So I decide the temperature inside my cabin. I have chests of drawers. I have a pretty big closet that I won't show you because my things are in there. And I have this bathroom, a really big bathroom with a separate shower stall, complete with a door. A really very comfortable cabin. In the bow, I have another cabin that is very similar to this one. The only difference is that the bathroom is shared with a cabin that's here, which we use as storage, so I can't show it. However, this cabin is also a very large cabin, also with a closet and dresser under the bed. I'm not saying we're at the level of a hotel, but close. Now, let's go see what Floriana is doing on shore. I see that Floriana is staying at Francesco's Trattoria de Francesco.
On our restaurant tour here in Panarea in the beautiful Aeolian archipelago. We're in the restaurant Trattoria da Francesco. And here next to me is Mrs. Maria Pia, who is one of the owners of the restaurant, right?
Yes, now I run it together with my children, but before that, there were my parents, and even before that, my grandparents.
So you are the third generation. Are you preparing a fourth? Mrs. Maria Pia, you are really from Panarea. Did you look for this profession as a vocation, or did you stumble on it?
Yes. I started when I was a child, with my parents. It's something I'd like to do and do it gladly.
Let's go see what's simmering in the pot and what the restaurant's signature dish is.
They are called spaghetti alla disgraziata, a la wretched woman. They're very popular and well-known and liked a lot.
So let's go look in the kitchen. All these ingredients, which just to see them make your mouth water, are more than local.
Yes, because they're grown here by us in our garden. Like everything you see here, we add the dough.
Is there an order to the ingredients?
Oh, first of all, let's start with the tomato. I prepared for a couple of servings, and in that order, we're going to put in the olives, then the capers, wonderful. Always from Panare, the pepper, and then also the eggplant. That's it. After that, we also put a little chili pepper. Not a lot, but it has to be that right spiciness. The pasta is ready. Let's assemble. It's tempting.
Ah, wonderful fragrance.
To complete the dish, we put this really good baked ricotta on top, and then the magic touch of basil. That's it. The dish is ready.
While we're waiting for the wonderful pasta we saw in the kitchen to arrive, let's talk for a moment about this bottle. This bottle of Malvasia is called L'Insolita. What is it about?
It's a vineyard that some guy set up here with a grape called Malvasia, and the resulting wine is amazing.
Malvasia is the main grape variety of this island, of the Aeolian Islands. All in the glass we have a beautiful wine with a yellow color, with greenish hues. Let's listen to the nose. You can smell the typical scent of Malvasia. A little bit of apricot, a little bit of musk, wonderful. The pasta arrives. I am excited. It is wonderful. Really inviting. Here we are, Maurizio. Also from Francis, we had a version of first course. How did it taste to you?
I thought those spaghetti alla disgraziata were wonderful. Too bad I didn't taste them. What can I say? So much envy. Listen, Floriana, if I decide to come ashore in Panarea in the morning and I want to have breakfast, where can I go?
Come with me. I'll take you to the bar at Carola's.
Okay, I'll follow you to Carola's. Let's go. Laura, I heard from Floriana. She's taking us to see where they have breakfast in Panarea. I mean, she's going to have breakfast from Carola's bar. That sounds a bit peculiar. When she finishes and comes back on board, we'll leave. We'll go to the Little Rocks, and we're going to eat on the boat there. Where are you at?
When she is back, it will be ready.
Maurizio, look where I brought you, to the bar at Carola's. And we find Carola herself, the owner of this bar, explaining to us what is the typical breakfast of Panarea and the Aeolian Islands.
This is my cannoli granita, which I just invented 2 years ago, made with the peel, ricotta, and the pistachio. Then we have the typical Sicilian brioches. You take it, break it up, and puccia it, dip it. And that's our breakfast.
Maurizio, have you seen those? What a nice breakfast at Carola's, right?
Yes, Floriana, beautiful. I'm seeing you. I can see you from here. Now, come back on board. When you arrive, we'll leave and go to eat at a place nearby. Laura's almost ready, so as we arrive, she'll let us taste the goodies she's prepared for us. And this time, I'll eat as well. I'll be waiting for you.
Okay, boss.
Floriana, you had a good time, didn't you?
Let's say so.
Now that was nice, wasn't it? You on land and me here on the boat. Now you take 10 minutes for yourself. We'll set sail. We'll go to a really, really nice place. And there, I'll let you taste what Laura cooked for us, which I think is worth it.
Thank you.
Laura, where are we at?
We are almost ready. If you give me 2 more minutes, I will serve you the appetizer.
Perfect. I'll be waiting for you.
Here is the appetizer.
Nice. What is that? I don't remember. You told me shrimp?
Salina shrimp, strawberries and kiwi. A little icing to give it a little freshness. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much. It looks really good.
Yes, the colors are beautiful. I imagine the taste as well.
Then, the place is wonderful.
Here, where are we?
We're at the Little Rocks, the Fariglioni in front of Panarea. Here we are at Lisca Blanca, which is a group of rocks, and beyond that is Lisca Nera, which is another group of rocks. These rocks surround an old crater of volcano. We're inside the crater, which is active now, and it's really very beautiful.
Will he not surprise us?
No, he won't surprise us. Everybody keeps asking me. Now we taste this. Good. Very fresh. So we also discovered Panarea cuisine, both in the restaurant and here on the boat. What a hostess can cook. If you take the slightly larger boats, which also have the chef on board, think about what you can eat on a catamaran. Thank you very much. How beautiful. She makes the dishes look beautiful, aesthetically beautiful.
Beautiful colors, the colors of the Aeolian Islands.
Now we'll leave you as we continue to eat our gnocchetti while waiting for Laura to bring us what comes next. She promised us both squid and dessert. And we'll see you again later, because having left the Scoglieri, I want to take you to see one last place in Panarea, which is a beautiful cove where we're going to have an aperitif. It's called Cala Junco, and I'll see you later. It was a nice walk. We saw a lot of things. You had a great meal.
I ate very well, saw Panarea, which of the 7 islands is perhaps the most worldly and the most graceful. Still, they are all beautiful. Each has its own characteristics.
In the Aeolian Islands, each has its own character. However, as you said, Panarea is perhaps the most worldly. The restaurants were very nice. They were absolutely hospitable. But I have to say, I ate very well too, because on board, Laura was really very good. Each time we do a documentary, we always have a different chef or cook on board, and the level is always very high. So know that if you go on an NSS catamaran, you'll always eat well. Not only on land, as we've shown you, but also on board. I hope that this video of ours, in addition to showing you Panarea and showing you what you can eat both here and aboard a boat, has made you want to take a catamaran vacation. Because a catamaran vacation, I assure you, is one of the most beautiful vacations you can take. All that remains for me is to say goodbye to Floriana. Thank you very much, Floriana.
Thank you, Maurizio.
Thanks to NSS Charter for giving us their logistics support with the boats, skippers, and everything we need to make the video, and to give you an appointment for the next video with svnsolovela.net.